Coach Ellerby and I think Coach Heupel both said that you're the sort of the undisputed leader of the offensive line. Was that a natural mantle that you feel like you took?
I think so. I think a lot of last year was. I feel like I was a decent leader last year and kind of, made my mark a little bit. But I think Jerome was kind of the head of that room, and I was kind of his little supporting piece beside him. So, just more working on this year, just kind of stepping up into that role and taking it, day for day and trying to get better at it.
I know when you haven't been in there, Addison Nichols has been working at center. What kind of football player is Addison Nichols, both at center and then at guard where he's practiced some as well?
Right. Big guy. That's the first thing that you see about Addison is that he's very well developed for a younger guy, especially. You don't see many guys come into college that are, ready size-wise, and he has that. He's got the strength, the body for it. He's just, working on the mental stuff and kind of getting it down pat how to play as a center. It's difficult work and, really a niche kind of spot on the O-line. So just work at it.
Just how much different is that room this year without Jerome, without Darnell? Can you tell a difference just in the personality of the group and everything so far?
World of difference for sure. It's really hard missing two guys like that. Darnell, obviously, what he's done over the past year is really special, and the production that he had and what he was able to do against the best competition. That's one thing, and then just Jerome. He's been here for so long. He's been here forever. So losing a great player and a great leader and great person and, both of those guys, I mean, I love both of them. They're both some of my best friends. So losing both of them has been hard for me, but I'd say it's probably been equally as different for the room as well.
Kind of on that note, you got two guys you have to replace. So from your viewpoint, kind of how's that tackle and guard battle going on this spring?
Productive, I would say. We've got a lot of guys working in a lot of different spots, flipping back, back and forth from sides, just trying to get the work to see who fits in the puzzle, But like I said, it's productive. I like it. Spring's the time to get better and, try new stuff out. So if there was any time to do it, it would be now.
You just said spring is the time to try new things and figure things out. Have you been trying anything new, anything different?
Definitely. So my coach sent me a little clinic tape from a guy named Kevin Mawe. So he's a smaller guy like me that played in the NFL for a long time, gold jacket type guy. So he kind of preached about how pass pro isn't passive and kind of taking space and stuff. So I've really been, trying to just mix up, stuff in the pass game, like taking different sets and, kind of close distance a little bit. So that's been a big emphasis on me. Just trying to get, every year is a battle, trying to get stronger, bigger, and more experience, knowing when to do stuff. So, yeah, I've been on the same board.
You guys talked last year about that offensive line having a lot of personality in the room. How are the personalities and sort of the figures kind of change with a couple of guys leaving in Jerome and Darnell and new guys coming in?
Yeah, I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. It's a lot different. It's hard because we've got new guys coming in that are experienced players, but like anything in life, doing something new and being in a new place is hard and it's a challenge to get comfortable. So I think as time goes on, it's gonna probably get to that point where it's probably a little bit crazy in there. But right now everybody's kind of, locked in and just trying to do their thing.
Are you planning to participate in the spring game Saturday?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Okay. And what's that like for guys the first time? Maybe they're freshmen, haven't been on campus, first time in front of all those fans, even if it is a spring game.
Really special. Neyland's a special environment every time you go in, but it's a lot of first things, a lot of new things for the young guys. So going over there will be a great thing for them. I didn't get to experience it my freshman year because COVID hit. So I didn't really get that experience till the first game, and even then it was during COVID, so it was a little bit, not as normal. But these guys are gonna have a good crowd to come out to, and we got the best fans in the country, so I'm sure it'll be special.
What does Coach Ellerby mean to you?
Man, everything. I love Coach Ellerby. I think me and him have a an unbreakable bond, and there's former players that still feel that way about him today that you see show up, you know, year after year. You see a lot of our guys, Jerome, Darnell, my older brother, Cade. You know, there's a lot of guys coming back through and paying it forward on the practice field, and moreover, kind of just showing up to see him, you know? So, I mean, I think that speaks volumes to who he is and how he treats us and, you know, what he expects out of us. I think we all love him.
What was something you'd say you took from Jerome? You said you were he was the leader and you kind of were his right-hand man. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but what would you say you took from him on how to be a leader and how to kind of take charge of a room like you are now?
Just be the same guy every day. You know, I've preached it ever since I've been, you know, kind of the leader or whatever you want to call it. But being the same guy every day is huge in anything you do, in my opinion. So if you know what you're going to get out of somebody, you have a lot of faith in them. If you don't, you're not going to trust much. You don't know what you're going to get. But Jerome, man, special guy. You know, comes to work with the right attitude and a smile on his face every day. And, you know, just trying to mimic that a little bit. You know, it's special when you got a guy that has a good energy about him every day. It's infectious.
Coach Ellerby, you mentioned how, you know, when you're out there helping to coach the guys, sometimes you beat him to it and how that's really helped him. And even the guys are saying that it's a really invaluable aspect of this team. How does your leadership in a way help build chemistry within that unit and help propel them to that next level of their growth?
Yeah, I think there's, you know, we all try to speak the same language in our room, you know, especially speaking for myself and Coach Ellerby. But sometimes you know, different viewpoints can help get the point across better. You know, sometimes I see some stuff that probably is on the same wavelength with Ellerby, but I'll know how to say it a different way to translate to the guys better. So just creating a culture that we have in this building that everybody can say, you know, everybody has a say-so a little bit, you know, that's, you know, proving themselves and whatever. Everybody that sees something is more than willing to step up and say something, and people won't get, you know, take it personally and get upset about it. So we're all trying to get better. We're all trying to, you know, help each other. So I think everybody kind of realizes that.
On that getting better note, they always give away an award for most improved player in the spring. If you were to nominate someone from the offensive line, who would that be?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I'd probably give it to Dane Davis has had a really good spring. Just the kind of a guy that doesn't get a lot of, like, you know, attention and everything, but a guy that comes out and does it right every day and plays hard and just knows the technique down to a science. That's a guy that, you know, I gotta tip my hat to a little bit.
Especially since you've been lining up alongside him a bit, I guess. What are your impressions of Andre Carrick so far, and how's he looked at guard so far?
Really, really good. I like Andre as a person, as a player. He's, you know, athletic, can bend, you know, flexible guy that can translate power really well, which is, you know, really special when you do it at the guard category too, when you're athletic. So he's a guy that has pop. You know, he's got some ways to go, and he knows that, and I think he embraces that and, you know, is trucking forward with it. But, you know, potential is definitely there, high ceiling. So I'm excited to see where he goes with it.
You might have a new guy to your left, but to your right, you got Javontes. You played with him for this third year together now. How have you kind of seen him grow and develop, and what's maybe different about him this offseason, if there is anything?
Just the day-to-day, you know, just who he is as a person and the intentionalness about how he goes about things. You know, I think he does everything with the right amount of detail into it, and, you know, just a guy that's grown a lot as a person, especially that, and then as a player, it all carries over. You know, so I think he's done a good job of just improved himself a lot in every area. Yeah, appreciate y'all.